There is a recent trend on social media that's going on. Post your images from the year 2016. The real reason for that trend is something political, but सबने बहती गंगा में हाथ तो धो लिए. अभी तक मैंने नहीं किया है. And there is a reason for it. If I were to reflect back and look at my own pictures from the year 2016, it would not be this Aishwarya. It would be a very confused woman with a 2-year-old in her arm, struggling professionally, trying to find her own identity, trying to know who I am, why I am here. Everything is perfect. Externally, तो सब कुछ है, but it's not just me. That was me in the year 2016. During this phase, I was also going through postpartum depression, something that we, very clearly say कि exist ही नहीं करता है. We also went through the same. It's just, you new generation people's drama and all. During this time, YouTube was my solace. It just gave me that peace. I would, watch all these stand-up comedians and all. And since childhood, I have loved the camera, I have loved the mic, I have loved the stage. And that is also why I have selected the profession that I am in. Like, the stage is my happy place. And definitely being in front of the camera was my relief or my way of being happy for those few hours in a day. I started creating videos on YouTube. Now, when I created videos, I would do it when my son slept. So I couldn't see what the lighting was, and during those days, pre-COVID, we did not have these lightings, mics and all. So jo bhi hai, I would just arrange in whatever setup it is. My first priority was that my son is sleeping and he doesn't disturb me. All the footages, everything was very raw. Only thing is my content was perfect, research was good. When I shared these videos with my friends and family, majority of the response was never about the content, which is what I had expected. The response was on how bad I looked, on how bad the lighting was, on how bad the voice modulation was, on how bad everything was. And that really discouraged me. I continued creating content, and a few days later, students started contacting me on social media, saying that, we really loved what you were creating, your lessons are very good, you explain things very well, you have simplified it very well, and that gave me courage. This was the first time when I trusted the viewpoints of strangers, of people who did not know me, over the people with whom I have grown up, whom I know, with whom I share relationships. And that is how I learned to learn to draw boundaries before relationship. Now, this was my YouTube journey. As I said, when I look back at 2016, it was not me. I was highly emotional, and emotions took decision for me rather than thinking ki rationally, is this possible? Can I take this decision? Is it good or bad? But no, I just lived in the moment. If I take this action, this person is going to feel bad. I was a very desperate people's pleaser, because life mein everybody wants peace, and the easiest way to do it is ki do what others want so that there is peace in your life. So as I said, in the year 2016, I was an entirely different person, a very emotional person who felt that, living in the moment is more important. And when I say living in the moment, it's not what these Gen Zs think, but be a people's pleaser, please everyone around you, and that is the easiest way for you to survive. As I was more in a survival mode than to grow. But what is the reality? It was a very bad decision. I had to cut it off, and that was the only way in which I could grow. Instead of, withholding my emotions, what I started doing is I started to learn how to manage them, how to channelize my emotions, and how to, how to stop promoting my emotions, restricting them from interfering in my decisions. The way I did it is I reached out to a friend who was already conducting a course on EFT, that is Emotional Freedom Technique. It helped me rediscover myself. It helped me to channelize my emotions. So reaching out to the right people is never a crime. Go ahead and seek help. There is nothing to be too proud that, I'm a very strong woman. How can I go and seek help? That was again one emotion which was restricting me from seeking help, which I'm sure a lot of women resonate, because we have been told that you're a woman, you're so strong. How can you go out to, how can you even think about asking help from someone? I overcame that challenge, and trust me, that is something that changed my whole trajectory. One of the guilt, a very, very, inbuilt emotion that we all women have. Giving up guilt was very difficult for me. For example, when my son was 2 years old, he used to keep on crying early morning because I used to be a visiting professor then. And he would cry continuously for 2 hours. That means he would fall sick for next 2 weeks. That means I have to again take a leave. And this was like an unending loop that was going on. I wanted to break the loop. And like a wise woman then, I did the best thing. That was quitting my job, which I should have technically not done. I should have just stayed consistent. But slowly and steadily, I realized it is important to draw boundaries with your emotions and to channelize them. Moving further, when you talk about nayi soch ka naya safar, if it was the old me, I would have given importance to relations. I'm out for 4 hours in a day. What will my in-laws think? What will my children think? Would have been my priority. But today, my priority is, okay, I'm out for 4 days. I have done A, B, C, D task. Now I'm done. Now let them do whatever they want. Mujhse jitna hua, I have done. That is where and how I have drawn my boundaries. Moving further, if I had to change one more thing about me, that is not being guilty. As I've said previously, guilt is the biggest, biggest restriction that I've always had in my mind, that always, that was, very self-inflicted. So getting rid of guilt was the best thing I could ever do, and it's still a journey, it is still a process that is going on. When we look at our scriptures, so I'm sure everybody is well versed with the Ramayana, and everyone knows that when Lord Rama had gone out in the jungle to hunt for the deer, Lakshmana had drawn the Lakshman Rekha. So everyone knows the purpose. What we have been taught is that Lakshman Rekha was drawn to restrict Sita Mata. But that was never the case. It was never about restriction. It was about drawing a boundary which kept the danger away. Similarly, when you are drawing a boundary, it is never about limiting yourself. You have to let go of toxic people. You have to let go negative thoughts. And trust me, from the time I have done this, I have seen a huge difference in myself. Whether it's my health, whether it is my skin, whether it's my emotional well-being, I have been thriving, from survival to thriving. That is my Naya Safar, which I have, I have been carrying on since last almost 10 years. Once I let go of the toxic people, the toxic thoughts automatically vanished. I could find more time for myself. I found more time to pursue certain activities. Like, I loved drawing, I love art, but I was blessed with such a talent that even if you give me a scale, I can't draw a straight line. I was that horrible artist. To someone who went on to YouTube and learned mandala, I got the tools, I started spending more time. It's like, weekend mein X amount of hours is only to pursue my hobby. I could only find that time because of the 4 walls that I erected and said, no, now nobody can interfere in my personal space. That's it, your thoughts and your welcome outside. So that was in short with respect to my journey of the last 10 years. इन लास्ट 10 सालों में यही थी मेरी नई सोच और यही था मेरा सफ़र. थैंक यू.